Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me for this stress relief, anxiety, de-stress flow. During this class, we're going to work through different breathing techniques and poses to help you de-stress, release any tension, and give you that feel-good feeling. You don't particularly need any props for this, but if you know you like to practice with blocks or a strap, I'll recommend you to grab it. And when you're ready, just go ahead and meet me on the mat. Alright, so when you guys are ready, we're just going to start in a simple Sukhasana, seated position towards the end of your mat. Whatever position that feels most comfortable for you. When you're here, I'll invite you to place your hands onto your knees. Make sure your belly button is up and in, spine is straight and long. I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already done so. We're going to begin this practice by taking some samavriti breaths, which, for example, for us, we're going to do counts of 1 to 5, then repeat that from 5 to 1. So we'll do, example, the first count will be inhaling for a count of 1, holding for 1, and exhaling for 1. So when you're ready, go ahead and take a big inhale for a count of 1, hold, and exhale. Now for a count of 2. Hold, exhale. 3, inhale, hold, exhale. Now 4, inhale, hold, exhale. Last one for a count of 5. Inhale, hold, exhale. Repeating again from 5. Inhale, hold, exhale. Make sure that your shoulders are down and away from your ears. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold, exhale. Now for a count of 3. Inhale, hold, exhale. Last one for a count of 1. Inhale, hold, and exhale. On your next inhalation, you can start keeping your eyes closed. Start to take some circles with your chest towards the right. So just following your breath, rounding in the upper back when you are going backwards, and when you're towards the front, puffing your chest out, heart is lifted. Just following your breath here. On your next inhale, simply switch sides. Last one. Next inhale, come back to center. Keeping your eyes closed here. We're gonna start and take some Kapalabhati breath, which is simply alternating with the short explosive exhales and passive inhalations. So basically we're gonna do sets of 15, and then when we're done, we're gonna do 2 sets of 15. When we're done, in between, we're just gonna take a big inhalation and exhale. So it's simply gonna look like this. So engaging your lower belly on your exhalation and feeling that passive inhale in between each. So when you're ready, go ahead and inhale. Inhale fully. And exhale. Last one like this. Inhale. Inhale fully. And exhale. On your next inhalation, go ahead and take your right hand, place it on the side of your, your left side of your face. Take a big inhalation, and on your exhalation, simply let your head drop towards the side, taking a little stretch here in your neck. Inhale, come back to center, bring back that right hand onto your knee. Take a big inhalation, same thing but on the other side. So with your left hand this time, a little stretch on the side of your neck. Inhale, come back to center, bring the hand back onto your knee. This time we're gonna go ahead and maybe you wanna blink your eyes open. Simply bring your hands in front of you, make your way into a tabletop position. So when you're here, making sure your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are stacked over your knees. I'm gonna simply start by taking some chest circles. So inhale, round up in the upper back, and exhale, dropping the belly, lifting the tail and lifting the gaze. Going towards your right to begin. Not caring about what you look like here, just focusing on how you're feeling. Last one on this side. And then on your next inhalation, switch it towards the left this time. Making sure that you round in the upper back on your inhales and drop your belly on your exhale. Slowly on your next inhale, make your way into a downward facing dog. When you're here, maybe you want to paddle out the legs, whatever you need to settle into the pose. Making sure that your fingers are spread out wide, that your feet are hips distance, belly button is up and in, kind of imagining that your armpits are looking at each other. Take a full breath here. On your next inhalations, we're going to take some spinal waves. So when you're ready, take a big inhale, draw your chin to your chest, roll forward into high plank. When your shoulders are over your wrist, exhale. Drop the belly, lift the tail, bend the knees as much as you need. Let your hips glide you all the way back. When you make it back, again, inhale, roll forward, and exhale. Drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. Let your hips glide you back. One last like this. Inhale, roll forward, and exhale. Drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. This time when you make it back, let that right leg lift up, coming into a three-legged dog. On your next inhalation, go ahead and bend into that right leg, opening your hip out towards the side. Really pulling with that right foot, feeling. Next inhalation, keeping a bend in that knee. Go ahead and roll forward. Bring that right foot by your side, coming into a lizard pose. So here to begin with, make sure your wrists are aligned with your ankle. That right foot is on the side of your mat. Chest is puffing up. On your next exhalation, maybe lower the back knee down onto the mat. Making sure you're breathing. Maybe stay here, maybe lower down onto the forearms. Making sure your elbows are aligned with your heel this time. Chest is lifted, hips are sinking down here. Next inhalation, go ahead and maybe plant that left forearm down on the mat, taking a twist towards your right. So go ahead and take your right hand, pushing your right thigh out toward the side. Your chest puffing up. Maybe you stay here. Maybe on your next inhale, go ahead and kick that back foot. Maybe try to grab onto your back foot or using your strap. Take a big inhale, kick back into your hand. And on your exhale, go ahead and try and bring that foot as close to your bum as you can. Again, inhale, kick it back. And exhale, bring it forward. Last one like this, inhale, kick it back. And on your exhale, kick it forward and try and hold it here. Next inhalation, slowly release that back foot. Bring that right forearm down on the mat. Slowly come back onto your hands. Go ahead and tuck the back toes. Try and lift it back up. Kick that leg. Keep it bent. Coming back into that bent leg. Three-legged dog. Open hip. Make sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, square out the hips. Coming into a three-legged dog. Inhale, take that right thigh to your chest. Exhale, lower that foot in between your hands. Inhale, lower that back leg down and lift both hands up into a low lunge. On your exhalation, maybe go ahead and try and clasp your hands and press them into the midst of that right thigh, or maybe you stay here, hands on blocks. Take a big inhalation and try and see if you can bend it back and press into that thigh. Inhale, come back to center. And on your next exhale, plant the hands down, tuck the back toes, lift up into this modified pyramid. When you're here, maybe your hands on your blocks or maybe you're on your fingertips, straighten your back. Exhale, try and let it melt. We're gonna take some small waves here. Inhale, draw chin to chest. Come back to your straight back. Exhale, let it melt. Last one here. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, let it melt. This time, see if you can hold it. Make sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, plant the hands down, lift up. Press that back foot, try and draw it back into your three-legged dog.
On your next exhalation, slowly lower that leg down beside the other. And then we're simply going to repeat this onto the other side. So when you're ready, starting with these spinal waves again, go ahead and take a big inhale. Draw chin to chest, roll forward. Exhale. Drop the belly. Bend the knees as much as you need. Let the hips glide you back. Again, inhale, roll forward, and exhale. Drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. Last one like this. Inhale, roll forward, and exhale. Drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. When you make it back, let that left leg this time lift up towards the sky. Coming in a three-legged dog. Next inhalation, go ahead and bend into that left leg. Really pull with that left foot out, feeling a stretch here and opening onto your side. On your next inhalation, keeping a bend in that leg, try and sway forward, bringing that left leg beside your left hand, coming into lizard. Here, making sure your wrists are aligned with your heel. Maybe you stay here. Maybe on your next exhale, let that back knee come down on the mat. Making sure that your chest is lifted. Next inhalation, maybe you stay here, maybe you lower down onto the forearms. If you do so, making sure that your elbows are aligned with your heel this time. Hips are sinking down. Heart is lifted again. Next inhalation, go ahead and maybe you stay here, or maybe plant into that right forearm, pressing onto your left thigh, getting an opening onto your sides here. Lifting up with your heart. Next inhalation, maybe you stay here, maybe you try and grab onto that back leg. Take a big inhale, kick back. Exhale, try and see if you can kick it towards your bum. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale. Last one like this. Inhale, kick it back. And exhale. This time, see if you can hold it. Next inhalation, slowly lower that back leg. Bring your forearm down onto the mat. On your next inhalation, place your hands down. Tuck onto that back leg. Take a big inhalation here. Try and lift it back up into that like three-legged dog. Open hip. Next inhalation, square out those hips. Three-legged dog. Inhale, bringing that left thigh to your chest, rolling forward. Bringing that foot in between your hands. Inhale. That back leg comes down. Arms come up in overhead low lunge. Maybe you stay here again. Maybe your hands on your blocks. Maybe that's enough for you for now. Or maybe you go ahead and clasp your fingers together. Place them on the midst of your thigh. Take a big inhale. And start bending back. Inhale, come back to center. On your next exhale, slowly put the hands down. Tuck the back toes, lift up into this modified pyramid. Maybe you stay here, maybe your hands on your blocks. Inhale, straight back. We're going to take some waves again, so exhale, let it melt. Inhale, drawing your chin to your chest, coming back to your straight back. Exhale, melt. Last one like this. Draw chin to chest, straight back. Exhale, let it melt. And when you're here, try and hold it. Next inhalation, plant the hands down. Try and see if you can simply kick back into that three-legged dog. On your next exhale, simply lower that foot beside the right one. Take a full breath here. Next inhalation, go ahead and walk your feet so that they're mat distance. Walk your hands so that they're a little bit closer and you have a shorter down dog. Here we're going to take some side twists. So go ahead, take a big inhale, starting with your right hand onto that left ankle. Looking up and over your left side here. Making sure your belly button is up and in. Next inhalation, bring that right hand back down on the mat. And on your next inhale, switch it. So with that left hand onto that right ankle this time. Feeling a side stretch here. Next inhalation, slowly make it back to that down dog. Simply take a full breath here. Next inhalation, lift both heels off the mat. Try and tiptoe your way to the top of the mat. When you're here, take a big inhale coming into your straight back. So maybe your hands on your blocks, wherever you are. And exhale, pulling the belly button up and in. We're going to take some waves again. So inhale, drawing your chin to your chest. Straight back. Exhale. Let it melt. In a forward fold, always try and shift your weight forward. Inhale, coming back to your straight back. Exhale, let it melt. And this time, simply try and hold it here. Focusing on your breath. Next inhale, go ahead and come back to that straight back. Exhale, try and let it fold again. Next inhale, go ahead and try and rise up, all the way up. Arms come up and overhead. Exhale, palms come to heart. Next inhale, arms come back up and overhead. Exhale, lower down, chair. Take a full breath here. See if you can sit a little lower. On your next exhale, slowly lower down into boat pose. So maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to try and extend the legs, or maybe you want to attempt full boat. So go ahead and grab onto the outside of the feet, bringing your thigh close to your chest as you can. Take a big inhale and straighten your legs. Make sure you're breathing wherever you are. On your next exhalation, lower down. The feet come down on the mat. Bring the bottom of the feet together. We're going to take a bound angle pose. So when you're here, go ahead and try and pull the inside of your feet, kind of under your feet out towards the outside. Slowly take a big inhale, start to walk your fingertips forward. Try and maybe lay your chest, forehead on the mat. Making sure your spine is straight and long here. You're breathing wherever you are. Next inhalation, come onto your fingertips. And we're going to take some side twists in this position. So go ahead and take a big inhale. And place your left hand underneath that right. Try and look up and over that right shoulder. Making sure you're breathing. If this is too much for you, you can simply stay where you were. Next inhalation, come back to center. Exhale fully. Inhale and switch. So sliding that right hand this time, looking up and over your left shoulder. Next inhalation, come back to center. Exhale fully, and on your next inhale, slowly walk your hands back by your side. Maybe you want to stay facing this way. I'm going to face this way so I have a little bit more room. And you can see a bit better. Try and open your legs as wide as your flexibility allows you to today, or as it feels comfortable for you today. We're going to take a pancake fold. So when you're here, make sure your belly button is up and in, spine is straight and long. We're going to take a few rocks, like those little pelvic tilts, back and forth. We're simply going to do about 5 of these. So making sure that your belly button is up and in, you're kind of popping your booty out here. 2 more. And on your next inhalation, slowly start and try to walk your hands forward, making sure your spine is straight and long, belly button is in, instead of rounding. So try wherever you need to stay. Maybe bring your chest and belly down onto the mat. Make sure you're breathing here. Next inhalation, place your hands back down on the mat. Bring your legs together. Go ahead and give them maybe a little shake from side to side. We're going to go ahead and come onto our back. Simply lay down. Make your way down onto the mat. Legs are straight out in front of you. Arms are by your side. On your next inhalation, just bring that right thigh to your chest. Go ahead and flex both feet. Next inhalation, taking the outside of that right foot, we're going to take a half happy baby here. So feeling a little bit of opening in your hip. If you feel like you need to take your left hand to stabilize your hip or whatever, you can place it here. Next inhalation, go ahead and we're going to switch it sides. So taking that right thigh, taking a side twist. So that right arm is going to extend by your side, palm facing down. Try and keep both shoulder blades on the mat. So I don't care if your leg touches the ground or not. So simply try, and one day maybe make it here. What I don't want is this, because you're losing the stretch here. So making sure your shoulder blades are on the mat, even if you're just here, looking towards your right side, making sure you're breathing. Next inhalation, bring it back to center, and exhale, extend it back. On your next inhalation, we're going to repeat the same thing, but on your left side. So take a big inhale, make sure both feet are flexed, grabbing onto the outside of that left foot, this time taking half happy baby. Feeling a stretch in your hips here. Belly button is up and in. Next inhalation, we're going to switch it into a side twist. So bending into that leg, go ahead and straighten your arm out by your side. Try and lower that knee down on the mat. Make sure you're breathing here. Next inhalation, bring it back to center. Go ahead and bring that right thigh to chest as well. Give yourself maybe a little hug. Bring both thighs to chest. On your next inhalation, grabbing the outside of both feet, we're going to take happy baby. So maybe you want to take some rocks from side to side. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you want to extend on your next inhalation. Next inhalation, slowly bring your legs back to center. Extend your legs in front of you. Arms are by your side. We're going to finish this practice by taking a few breaths in Shavasana. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I truly hope that you enjoyed this anxiety release, de-stress flow. I hope that you feel lighter. I know I definitely do. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Namaste.